Uh, I would like to say hello and good evening for everybody. I would like to thank I would like to thank the people who arranged for this meeting. I am glad to be with you tonight from Rojava, because I was in Rojava just a few days ago. And also I would like to express my condolences for our friend who martyred just a few days ago, Gabar Rojava, Mr. John Robert Galahan, who martyred in Rojava defending the humanitarian values with our people over there with YPG. So I just express my condolences to the Canadian people, and I promise that this friend, who's Gabar Rojava, he was a member of YPG from Canada, representing all the Canadian people. He will be a kind of bridge between the Canadian people and the Kurdish people in Rojava. All the world, maybe in spite of the thousands of miles between our countries, Canada and Rojava in northern of Syria, we are becoming together as a friends nations with the blood of the martyrs between us, which is the strongest one, defending the humanitarian values in Rojava. Also we appreciate the Canadian people stand with us in these difficult days, really, because Canada is a part of this international alliance against Daesh, which we are fighting on the ground, and the Canadians are helping us through this international alliance by airstrikes. So we are in one front and one trench defending the humanitarian values, and this is, of course, is our appreciation. I mean, to be all together defending this, the democracy and the freedom for the people against those brutals who are the enemy of everything beautiful in this world. What's going on, as you remember, still there is a fighting in Rojava, actually. In Hasaka and other places is in daily basis. We have martyrs every day. Just today also we buried 8 martyrs. And as you know, Rojava is a kind of a battlefield for defending the humanitarian values. We are continuing this fighting since more than 3 years, and we could gain victories against those humanitarian enemies. I mean, which they are enemy to everything beautiful. We believe by doing this, we became a part of this a moderate world, which is our friends now are spread everywhere, starting maybe from Canada to United States to Europe. All moderate humanity is with us. We believe that. And as you know, because of this war going on in Rojava, everything, maybe our villages and towns were destroyed. Especially, you have heard about Kobani, which is now 80% is destroyed. I was there just a few days ago. I was in Kobani, in Kamishlo and the other areas. Those people are insisting to build their homes, their towns, and working on those areas from one side and still defending their values from the other side. Now, just for your information, I mean, we have established even our system over there, which we call it democratic administration system. We are living together with the Kurds, Arabs, and Syriacs, and our people. Many of them, they were martyred defending the church over there for Syriacs, which we are living in Mesopotamia together since thousands of years. And also, you have heard about the Yazidis, which are part of our society, either in Shangal or in Syria. We are, so this system is including everybody. We are not making a difference between the beliefs of Christians and Muslims and Yazidis and even Alawites. We are living together in this part of the world. And also in this model, we have the rights for the women. We have equality between the genders, and now women in this area, which we call it Rojava, now the women became able not only to defend themselves, but also defend the society. You have heard about the YPJ, which is the women army, standing together with the men all together, defending Rojava, defending the humanitarian values, and defending the humans' rights and women's rights, even Rojava. And as you know, maybe you know a little bit about the system we have established. I am now a co-president of PYD. It means we have a co-chair also, which is women. I mean, we have co-presidential system in all of our institutions. So this is the model we are establishing in the Middle East and in the Mesopotamia. By doing this, we are allied to those Western values of democracy and humanitarian values and human rights. And of course, we have difficulties, but in spite of all this war and building these systems, we are sure the Canadian people and the people who pro-democracy, the freedom of the people, they are with us. We are not alone in this struggle. So again, I would like to thank all the people who just made this opportunity to talk to you for this meeting, and I am ready for any answers you wish to direct to me to answer your questions. Thank you very much for all of you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Muslim. I will ask our audience if they have any questions, but I'm sure many people in this venue right now, we are probably a little bit the other side of Canadian society, more kind of the decent side, and people are probably wondering what kind of solidarity politics from Canada, from around the world, with Rojava would be, considering the anti-imperialist politics that are right now probably the most important part of any kind of politics, any democratic politics in the Middle East. And I think most of the people here, they believe that Rojava would be an alternative both against the imperialist politics in the region, as well as villain groups like Daesh and authoritarian governments like Assad's regime, Erdogan's regime, and all the dictatorship in the region. Do you have anything to say about that?
Yes, of course. I mean, we were in the struggle against this dictatorship and despotic regime of Baath's party, Bashar al-Assad, since 2004. It means before the Syrian revolution to start in the 2011. We were struggling against this regime, and the Syrian revolution became as a continuing this what we were doing, our struggle. But it gave us the opportunity to establish our system. As you mentioned, I mean, we are establishing a democracy which we call it a radical democracy, which depends on the people more than to come from top. I mean, it's coming from the people. They have their design, and they can decide and will, and they are able, by these institutions and their organizations, they are able to implement the decisions that they are taking. So this is a new system actually in the Middle East, and of course this is because we are depending on the people, and this system established the defending system also. Now YPG and YPJ is a kind of organization, a part of this system. So this system was able to defend themselves against Daesh, while the nation states like Syrian army and Iraqi army could not stand against those brutals. But when we depend on the people and their organization, they were able to defeat those brutals. So it shows how strong this system we are establishing. And I think the future of the people of Mesopotamia and even Middle East will be accordingly, maybe in future will be stronger, because we consider our system, what we have established in Rojava, is a model for future of the people in the Middle East. So that's what I can say about the system we are establishing in our area.
Thank you so much. If anyone has any question, yes, please.
So what's the implication now of Erdogan getting a majority? What's the implication for the Kurdish people inside Turkey and Rojava?
Did you hear the question? Should I repeat that?
Yes, please, if you repeat it, yes.
Yes, so this gentleman asked about the implications of Erdogan's coming to power in Turkey for the Kurdish people in Rojava and in Turkey.
The Turkey's policy, especially for AKP and Erdogan, there are different planning, and they have in their mind, as you know, they were a supporter of this extremist and these jihadist systems. So it's a kind of background for these systems. And he dreams about the Ottoman Empire in the Middle East, which is not valid anymore. So I think just because of that, they are going to lose a lot of things. More than that, there was a good opportunity to go ahead with the approach of the peace process in Turkey, which he pushed away, I think. And now, as you know, Turkey is in the war with the Kurdish people in the north. And of course, I mean, the Kurdish people everywhere, they are now connected to each other. So this is effective negatively to our war, I mean, even in Rojava, because as you know, we have about 900 kilometers of border between Rojava and Turkey. And there were a lot of those extremists leaking through the border, so till the liberation, and they were supporting those extremists mainly. And now, by the name of the opposition of Syrian regime, they are still playing this game, which is very bad, I think. And by this policy, I think even the Turkish people and Turkey as a country, and even the Kurdish people, they will lose a lot of things. So it's a very dangerous policy against, Turkish people and the Kurdish people. As you know, I mean, he won the elections by making pressure on the Kurdish people, not allowing them to go for voting. This is one. and secondly, making the propaganda for this fascism and chauvinism again inside the Turkish people, which they gained a lot of votes from MHP, which is a very racist and fascist party. So we don't know really. We hope if they don't improve their policies in future, we are going to lose a lot of things. It's a dangerous policy anyway.
I have a question about economic reconstruction. How's it going? Is there any economic reconstruction going on? Is it under cooperative or council models? And what can the trade union movement here do to help economic reconstruction over there?
So the question is about the economic reconstruction of Rojava and how cooperatives and other alternative forms of economic organization are working there, and how the trade unions, syndicates can help in Canada with this economic reconstruction process.
As you know, I mean, we are in the war. It means war, if you talk about the war, it means destruction of many places and the people and even the schools, hospitals. So we have to rebuild everything from the beginning. And there was a conference in Turkey, in Ahmet. It was, I think, in June 2015, and there was another conference in European Parliament. There were a lot of promises, but till now, actually, maybe there are some small NGOs helping us to build some places and maybe supporting us with medicines, and there are some others building a hospital, Kobani, and there are other places. But it's very small scale actually, because everywhere is destroyed, and we need a plan for helping and for assisting the people in Rojava. We hope maybe in future, if there is a Marshall Plan for Rojava to rebuild many places which were destroyed. And for the Canadian, of course, there were some Kurdish society over there. Those Kurdish society, they were helping us actually. Maybe till now we couldn't make our voice to be heard in Canada. So because of that, maybe it's our fault. Maybe from now on, we will have our friends helping us too much for building and reconstructing what have been destroyed. And of course, I think even the Canadian government, maybe till now, they were not so active, maybe because they didn't know the situation very well. If we have opportunity, even we will tell the government, we will tell the people over there, and we will do things better maybe in future. But till now, actually, we are just depending on the Kurdish society everywhere, even in Kurdistan or in diaspora. The Kurdish society are only helping us.
Thank you. Maybe last question.
Can you ask him which country provides the most help with regards to the defense of Rojava?
He's asking which country is providing the most help for Rojava in defending itself.
Mostly now international alliance, which is led by United States. They are helping us by these airstrikes. I mean, helping YPG on the ground. It approximately 1 year they are continuing. And they showed a very successful allies against Daesh. Those airstrikes from, the top and our YPG on the ground, which is recently formed as Democratic Syria Forces, So those democratic forces, they contain Arabs, including Arabs and Syrians and Turkmens all together. So we are getting stronger. So mainly you can say it's an international alliance which led by the United States is most helpful for those forces on the ground till now.
Okay, thanks. Very last question. Yes.
Actually, thanks. I read the sheet I will cover for my English and translation. We are proud of you, Mr.
We are proud of you.
We will continue your way. Actually, my question is, you say Rojava is the very important model for Mesopotamia, Middle East, and not just the Middle East. I thought, as a Marxist, model for the Europe as well, Ukraine, for example, waiting to your beautiful result, I thought. Unfortunately, when I look at the old news, I saw lots of different problems you have faced. For example, North Iraq, KDP, Barzani, fighting against the Rojava model in Shanghai. And Shanghai means Rojava, Shanghai shows to us Rojava model is spreading or not. And Turkish movement is waiting Shanghai and Rojava movement continue every day positively. I hope we will spreading to Turkey as well. We will spreading to Ukraine as well, because your model is the revolution. But as a Marxist again, we know any revolution, unfortunately, working together with the counter-revolution. So be careful, and we are continue, and we are solidarity with you, all our brain, all our heart. Thank you very much.
I'm just gonna say something about that. So she just said that we're proud of you, we are proud of your struggle, and she mentioned that you have a difficult situation, you are in a difficult situation, and also mentioned the problem you have with the Kurdistan regional government in Iraq, the Barzani administration, and she says that as a Marxist she believes that Rojava can be an alternative not only for the region but even for Ukraine and like even as other places, and she said that she hopes that this model will spread over Turkey and all over the region.